Hello, I'm Gary Lyon and welcome to Access All Areas. Damo, let's not muck around, jump straight into it. Damien Barrett, as always, joining us. A couple of clubs in a little bit of trouble, Warrior. Before we get to them, the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, I want to start with them. This time next week, Gaz, when we sit here to do this show, they're going to be 7-2. I'm giving them the Western Bulldogs game. I want you, though, to tell us right now where you rate them. You've refrained from so doing just yet.
I have. I'm going to hold fire, Damo, because they have every chance of finishing in the 8, courtesy of the draw and courtesy of the fact that they are better than the bottom 10 sides, let's say. But they have played Fremantle, lost by 48 points. They played Hawthorn, they lost by 99 points. They had a very good result against North Melbourne, who have shown a tendency to be up and down. These is who they've got coming up. Adelaide at Adelaide Oval, Sydney, West Coast, Geelong, Hawthorn and Collingwood. Then we'll know more about them. I think under enormous heat and pressure, they've still got to prove that they are the real thing.
Do you give them a spot in the finals, though?
Oh, they could sneak in. I mean, they've got a hell of a good draw. And they're playing really good footy, and they've got a bloke called Ablett running around.
Yeah. Two of those clubs you mentioned with issues, though, Gaz, and they're the biggest stories when it's all said and done. Essendon and Richmond. Let's start with the Tigers first.
Yeah, well, they are the story this week, and they will be the ongoing story with very good reason. They won 15 games last season. They played in a final. I just wonder whether making that final was such a monkey off their back, whether they wandered off into the summer months and thought, geez, isn't that a relief, we've got that done. They now sit third last on the ladder with 2 wins. That is an amazing fall from grace.
So when their time came, from what you were saying there, they ultimately finished 7th last year. Are you saying that that was the peak of what they're going to do under Damien Hardwick on this surge?
On exposed form, you would say yes, well, because they haven't been able to back it up. And look, whether or not they've got a playing list capable of going beyond that 7th position now remains highly doubtful, you'd have to say. They've played...
So 5 years in under Hardwick, 7th is the best they're going to cop?
Well, yeah, unless they can rejuvenate that list. And, I mean, he's been backed in, has he not, Damien?
He has, yeah.
For another
look,
couple of years.
I don't know. Look, the board last year, Gaz, at the end of 2013, backed him until the end of 2016.
Yep.
So he's still got 2 complete seasons beyond there. So I don't see any pressure on him immediately, but there's pressure on the people putting the list together.
Yeah, and we always say, and we'll talk about improvement coming from other sides, it's about what you do at draft table and trade table. And they've traded with a ceiling in mind, and we've said this before, and I think those players, Troy Chaplin is a great example of it. He's a guy that got third in their best and fairest last year, and he comes out against Cam Pedersen and Max Gawn. Gawn took 5 marks, Pedersen took 8. 3 of them contested for Gawn, 4 of them contested for Pedersen, and they weren't all him, by the way, but I mean, this is a defence that allowed themselves to be dominated in the air by 2 guys who have nowhere near established themselves as footballers.
I mean, to actually mention Gawn and Pedersen as a key to what happened on the weekend is staggering itself, isn't it? And you're right, I mean, Chaplin's face and body is in that vision. He's the problem there.
He's in the leadership group, Damo. So he's supposed to be the general in the back half and conceded far too much ball in the air without a fierce contest in the air as well.
Let's go to the other end of the ground for Melbourne. Jeremy Howe, Gaz, you've been quite critical of him early on in the year, but he seems to have found his spot.
Well, this is great coaching from Paul Roos, because what you got to do from a coaching point of view is get your best out of your most talented players. Now, this is going to... You have a look at the players that played on Jeremy Howe, they just didn't draw the football and allowed him to do this sort of stuff, whether it was Edwards, whether it was Lloyd in this, not so much that instance. And look, for Jeremy, it simplified the game. I mean, he was getting lost as a forward, wasn't able to get any contests and was coming off games with only 4 or 5 possessions to his name. Great coaching from Paul Roos, maximising the ability of his list.
A line's been put through Richmond. Everyone's doing that. Do we have to put another line through Essendon? Well,
if you can't score, I know you can try and get into these arm wrestles and keep sides to 8 and 10 goals, but that's all they're doing at the moment. And, I mean, with leading goal kickers of Stanton, Chapman, Hardingham and Goddard, who are all essentially midfielders, then they're not going to win too many more games, Damo, you wouldn't think. So
one of those names there was Carlisle with 6 goals. Gaz, why did Mark Thompson play him as a sub? I know we debated it over the course of the weekend. Come Monday, I still can't get my head around how you're playing Reid, Tippett, Goods and Franklin, and you choose to put him as the sub.
Yeah, if you would have thought at any stage that he would have played, but I mean, this is what happens when you do that. So, Buddy Franklin kicked his 4th goal in a row. It puts Sydney 49 points up about 10 minutes into the second quarter, and you've got your 6'5" bloke that you know can play in the back half sitting in the subs vest.
Yep.
So, look, I wait to hear from Mark Thompson.
It's a stubborn decision, whichever way you look at it.
Maybe, surely the natural progression is not playing well as a forward, you go back where you have played well, not going well as a backman, then you go as a sub. Although 6'6" subs, I mean, who else go?
Yeah.
There are players who come on and give you a run when you need it most. So it was a very staggering sort of a decision.
The umpire Troy Pennell got knocked accidentally by Malcheski during the game. We just want to play the audio coming out of his microphone when he went down.
What about the rest of you? Do you feel like you can get up or not?
Virgo, start warming up, bud.
I'm a bit...
But your neck's definitely okay.
Neck's okay.
Right, let's just have a bit of a feel on that. You feeling sick or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
You think it's stretcher or get you to your feet?
Joe, just huddle up, mate.
You're with us still, Troy, aren't
Yeah,
you?
mate, yeah.
Just stop there. I think he's conscious. Okay, we'll leave him there for now, for sure.
Now, look, Troy Pennell's all right, so we're able to play that. What you get with that is mic'd up right up until the point where he started to dry reach or vomit. I thought it was fantastic because it takes people to an area of the game that they haven't been before. They listen to doctors, talk to people. So I think you've got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
We hear it from swearing every now and then.
It was uncomfortable. Look, I heard it live, and look, when that dry reaching happened, it was uncomfortable listening. But I'm with you. I mean, well done for Channel 7 to bring us.
Absolutely, and not so well done to the imbeciles who booed that man as he was stretchered off Troy Pennell there. I mean, there's no accounting for class and taste, and there are morons still in this world.
Particularly given, Gaz, I mean, this club was riled last year when Jobe Watson got booed in Perth. I mean, the same night they booed Adam Goodes as well. I mean, they actually should look at their own club, Gaz.
Well, we assume it was Essendon supporters, by the way.
Well, mostly it was. I mean, it was predominantly
well,
an Essendon crowd.
Why would there be? I understand what you're saying, but look, there's no justification in any way, shape or form, and we don't have to bring anything up. You're an idiot. If you were one of the people who booed, you're an idiot. Have a good hard look at yourself.
The Swans, Gaz, they're looking very, very scary, aren't they? I know you were on them before anyone, but they are looking really scary now.
Not before anyone, but I was on them when you were off them.
I was off them.
And you've apologised, so I won't rub it in any further. Everyone's going to focus on Buddy and Tippett. Everyone's going to focus on Jack and McVeigh and Parker. I want to look at the back, not look at the back half, but I want to identify the back half. It is Grundy and Richards who rarely lose a one-on-one. They've got Rampke, Shaw and Malcheski that can cover all sort of options and avenues, and they've got Lader as that floater, who's been another example of their great recruiting. So for me, it's so very well balanced. Forward, middle, back. They're going to be in the hunt. They're going to be in the mix, no doubt about it. Kieran Jack is part of that midfield group that we talk about. Skill, talent. Have a look at this, Damo. Shocking handball from Dan Hanbury. And then improvisation in this game is key.
It's a low percentage play, but...
look at it. He does a little skip there and says, I liked it. I'll tell you what else I liked. I like players who draw the ire of opposition supporters and players and then go out and not only talk the talk, walk the walk. Hayden Ballantyne, broken jaw, operation through the week, and look at this. Comes out on the Saturday night in a massive game against the old antagonist where he's had some history. Thought it was the performance of the round by a mile.
And I reckon this is the goal of the year to this point.
This one here?
Yep.
Just selling candy inside and outside. He's an energiser bunny, if you like, and once he's up and playing in that manner, you know that Fremantle are getting back to the point where Ross Lyon wants them to be.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a battle for the Dockers to this point, but it's quite incredibly right now. If you look at their draw, they do not play another team that's currently in the 8 until round 20. It happens to be Geelong again. So between now and round 20...
Say it again, Luke Darcy style.
Between now and round 20, not one team that they'll play is currently sitting in the 8. They've got a heap of wins coming.
And it's a marathon, isn't it? Not a sprint. That's what Ross Lyon would have, and when you look at that, then it all shapes pretty well.
Now, last 2 weeks ago, you were very critical of Adelaide supporters leaving the ground early against Melbourne. Now, on the weekend, you made this call that this venue is now the home of football. Which
I said right now, Adelaide Oval is the home of football, and it upsets so many people.
Well, you haven't been there for starters.
No, I haven't, but I'm looking forward to going there. But
the next night, though, Subiaco, I think, made a claim to, or reclaim to that same status.
I didn't say that, but the point being, and this
was very loud when this goal was kicked.
Yeah, no, and that's fantastic as well. All I'm saying is that it has been a long, long time, in my mind, since we've had that sort of excitement at a Melbourne game, whether it be the home of, the actual physical home of footy is the MCG. I'll always maintain that is the greatest sporting ground in the world. But right now, the fervour that's coming out of Adelaide Oval, and Subi, I didn't see Saturday night, gee, you're hard pressed to say there's a more exciting place to go and watch footy right now.
It's a big call to make. You haven't actually been to the venue though, Gaz. But anyway, let's move on. The Freo runner, Sean Tinsley,
Yes.
on the weekend, he was the 19th man for the Dockers.
Right, this
wasn't he?
bloke should get a letter. I'm going up to see Mark Evans. He should get a letter and say, listen, champ, you got the pink on, and that is as far as we ever want to see you. You get your message and you get off. I can't stand these prima donna runners who hang out there.
Look at this. Look at the filling the hole here.
Fill the hole. Look at me. I'll go slow. I'm going to get some hang time and some air time. Hopefully my mates at home are watching me.
It is deliberate though, isn't it? That's a tactic, sure.
I think runners have no doubt. Again, as I said, I haven't seen all of this game. Rossi Lyon. Well, good job. But I mean, runners, please. Mark Evans, one letter, and that's all it takes. And you know what? Fine them $5,000. And I don't think they're all that well paid, the runners, and that'll stop them. Get on.
For what you saw on the weekend, do that.
I've been saying it for 5 years, Damo. They annoy me no end, runners. It's very much look at me. It's not about you boys. Get on, get off. Damo, you've been good today. It's one of your better shows. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for on Access All Areas. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday. Goodbye.